Hi there, I'm Cookye of Goddesses Media. Thank you for tuning into my, I wouldn't even really call it a reaction video, but more on my thoughts and analysis of the Mortal Kombat 2021 film that is slated to come out this April the 16th. I haven't done a blog video in quite some time on my channel. I've been doing other things, but I wanted to give my thoughts and opinions about a game that I've been playing since 1992. Stay tuned. Alright, and thank you for joining me for my latest weblog here. I had to address the new Mortal Kombat trailer that you see in the backdrop. I was waiting for this for quite some time, and it just dropped a couple of days ago. And so when it dropped, I didn't see it right away. I waited to the next day. I wanted to see other people's fan reactions. I wanted to see what they thought about it. And then I sat down and saw it, because I'm not the biggest fan of fan reactions. I usually like to do aftermath reactions. I want to give myself some time to look at the footage. I want to absorb the footage. I want to analyze the footage. I want to let it get deep spiritually within me before I speak right then and there. Sorry, hold on one second. I want to make sure that I lubricate my throat. And for this, I need to put on my glasses, because not only did I see the trailer. Oh, by the way, do I look good with glasses on? Please let me know. Thank you. I saw the trailer many a times. I slept on it. I watched other people's reactions to the trailer. I even was following some other channels to see their professional opinions of the Mortal Kombat movie trailer for this April and what they felt about it. Just because I wanted to make sure that when I talk about my thoughts and opinions on it, I didn't want to say something that has already been said. Here is what I think.
First learned about this 7 years ago on a mission in Brazil to capture a wanted fugitive. When we got there,
Okay, so I see that this is a little homage to the original Mortal Kombat film back in 1995. You see where Scorpion and Sub-Zero comes out from behind a secret location in Shang Tsung's boat, where Sonya puts out a gun to shoot Shang Tsung, but then Sub-Zero comes out and then freezes the gun and then picks it off. I see this is almost like an homage to that movie. Let's see what else is going to happen.
tore through our unit in seconds.
Okay, so anyone who follows the video gaming lore understands that Jax lost his arms from Ermac in the events of Mortal Kombat 3. Okay, so I guess they decided to change some things up here a bit. I did take a look at Simon McCoy's analysis of his trailer, of course, as I said before, and he addresses that in his trailer, that there are various different versions of Mortal Kombat where Jax had lost his arms. They decided to take some liberties with Jax losing his arms in the new live-action version by the hands of Sub-Zero, which has been confirmed played as the original Sub-Zero from the first game, Bi-Han. So I just wanted to add a little bit of mythological lore, because Mortal Kombat has always been a culmination of Japanese, Chinese, Korean, Roman, Greek, Norse mythology. Focusing on Sub-Zero, I'm not sure if anyone noticed, and maybe this is something within the team of Mortal Kombat at NetherRealm Studios, before that, Midway, that in Chinese mythology there's something known as the 9 sons of the dragon, and these are the sons as they are: Bi-Shi, Chi-Wen, Pu-Lao, Bi-Han, Tao-Te, Gong Fu, Ya-Zi, Suan-Ni, and Jiao Tu. So, the fourth son is known as Bihan. Bihan is also, as described as the fourth son of the dragon, known as being tiger-shaped creature that distinguishes between right and wrong, and is also known as the gatekeeper and protector of prisons, courts, and various justice-related institutions, and his image is carved mostly on the entrances to remind all who enter into those domains that there is a watchful presence. I wonder if this is a play on words from the creator of Mortal Kombat regarding Sub-Zero, only because since his real name is Bihan, is he taking after the Chinese mythological fourth son of the 9 dragons? See, 4 in Chinese represents death, which means death is coming, I guess, in this case. So I think that's pretty cool. Just a connection that I'm making. If anybody wants to make any comments on that thought, please leave your thoughts on this video. Please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I will continue to do more content like this in the future. And thank you for watching and spending time to hear my thoughts and analogy of the trailer. Moving forward.
The target has superhuman abilities.
I see we get a glimpse of Sonya. And there is the new character that they're talking about called a Kohan. So, based upon Mr. Simon's explanation about Kohan, they wanted to introduce a new character. Mainly because they felt they had the license to do so, because Mortal Kombat has always introduced new characters in the series. So I kind of wanted to elaborate on that from my own perspective. Yes, Mortal Kombat has always introduced new characters in the series, but those new characters usually often came in the sequel because they were rudimentary and very important to expanding the story and explaining some back part that either needed to tie in with another character or needed to make a conjunction point in fulfilling a particular part of the story. So that's why most of the new characters show up the way that they do. And they're usually ordained by the team of Midway, what used to be Midway but now NetherRealm Studios, as an inclusion into the de facto story and have some significance. So when I see the director, you Simon, no offense to you, you created a new character, I see you as a secondary source, not a primary source. Secondary meaning Ed Boon and the team of NetherRealm Studios and Warner Brothers and the Mortal Kombat team as a whole have given you license to use their property and create a live-action film to which will cater to the fans and the people who have been supporting this franchise since its incarnation. So as a secondary source, you're taking somebody else's property and you are adapting it, hoping that you will bring to life the mythology from the manuscript exactly the way it's written onto screen in the best possible fashion. So when you make an extra character that is technically not your property, you're then adding an element and perhaps perplexing and confusing the original fan base on why you're doing what you're doing. I know you explained it, but I'm a diehard fan just like you, and like others have been playing this game, been competing in this game, and have been supporting this game and been collecting all the memorabilia. So when there is a inconsistency as big as this one, we're gonna notice that. Just saying. Let's continue the footage.
At the same marking you do, Cole.
Okay, so there's that marking of the dragon symbol. And for those of you out there that are not sure what that dragon symbol is, it is the very emblem that makes Mortal Kombat noticeable for what it is. That dragon symbol, this right here, that dragon symbol is the symbol of the one being. The one being that is hinted in Mortal Kombat Deception, where they go more into that and its omnipotence over the universe, and how for it to be defeated had to be tackled by all of the elder gods to seal it away, and how it was broken up into the Kamidogu fragments. Let's continue the footage.
It's a birthmark.
What do you mean?
He was born with it.
It's not a birthmark, Cole. It means you've been chosen.
Throughout history.
Okay. We get a symbol of Molina right here. And I guess this background is this remote region that Mr. Simon talked about as a mine that they use to depict the backdrop of Outworld. We'll talk about Outworld in a second, but I just kind of wanted to freeze frame Molina right there. So we get the first shot of Molina's back. These are her size. Yes, I'm a fan of Molina as well. I got the side too, girlfriend. Those are her size. Okay. Moving forward. Oh, there we go.
Different cultures all.
Oh, yes, there we go. There's Outworld. So, Mr. Simon, in his review of his own trailer, talks about how he wanted to give a realistic interpretation of what Outworld is. Now, I guess because I've seen the original Mortal Kombat movie, the one in 1995, so many times, when I see this version of Outworld and I see the 1995 version of Outworld, I see two different type of directors. The director from 1995 really pulled images from Mortal Kombat 2 and 3 to show the wastelands of Outworld and how that looks. Now, of course, this is just a trailer. We really don't know yet what the full movie is going to be or look like, but I'm quite sure it will bedazzle in a different way. So I'm trying to spiritually connect to this image here. I'm trying to put myself there. And this is me as a performing artist. I'm trying to put myself there. I don't see Outworld. I see the planet Mars. But it's just a trailer. We're going to continue.
Over the world.
Okay. Oop, I had to stop again. So this is the so-called reference to the original Mortal Kombat of the 9 tournaments and how Earth cannot lose the last tournament, otherwise it is subject to invasion by Shao Kahn. Now here we see Shang Tsung on his hands and knees being defeated by the great Kung Lao. The Kung Lao that was the not so arrogant version of his descendant. This is the ancestor Kung Lao right here. He's not wearing the hat. And he is the great martial artist that defended Earthrealm many times over from being overtaken by the forces of evil. This is great. Nice image.
Reference a great tournament.
Here's our first shots of Raiden. Let's see if we can back up just a tad here. Can we back up a bit? Let's see. Ah, there we go. Okay. Here's our first shot of Raiden and Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung. I really would like to see Shang Tsung's name written in traditional Chinese characters so I can see what the tones are. What is his name supposed to mean? We know that he was a reference from an old, I believe, Jackie Chan movie and The Sorcerer in there, and that's how he came about. I see he's wearing the crown upon his forehead like he's wearing either Sung, Tang, or Han Dynasty robes here. They're giving him a very traditional Chinese look here. Traditional to what you would see in a Chinese martial arts film filmed in the mainland of Beijing. So that's a nice, interesting take of Shang Tsung. He is Chinese of origin, so that's cool. Raiden's signature rice hat right here as the god of thunder and lightning and a protector of Earthrealm. Okay.
Of champions. That dragon marking. I think it's
Okay, this is when we get the first look of Hasashi right there. So Hanzo himself, Hasashi, of the Shirai Ryu. The origins of who he is and how he becomes the Scorpion, the Hellspawn Spectre bent on revenge and taking retribution against the Lin Kuei that laid waste to the Shirai Ryu. We're going to go into more of that in a second. Let's see the rest of this.
Invitation. To fight for
And his
something
signature
else.
spear. We can't forget that.
As Mortal Kombat.
And the martial arts is authentic, and they chose the right actor for the role. I could not have thought of a better actor to play the true Scorpion himself. Now, this is my thought right here. Anyone who knows the backstory to the whole Scorpion Sub-Zero mythology, we understand that there was a bigger hand at play. And technically, it wasn't the Lin Kuei that was motivated to attack the Shirai Ryu. They were coaxed into it and mentally manipulated and lied to by Sorcerer Quan Chi, who orchestrated the whole thing. And while Scorpion is defending his lineage right there, I'm assuming that sword that went through the back of that tatami window right there was his family being ambushed and killed. So that sword that we just saw right there, I think that was his wife and child getting killed right there. That's my thought. My thought. Moving forward.
These are your champions.
So these are the champions right here. I'm assuming that's Raiden's voice. So we have the Kohan person here. Sonya, Liu Kang. I can't make out who that is. I'm not sure if that's Kano. We'll address him momentarily. Here we are. We're back here to what seems to be Outworld, but to my visual understanding, to me, spiritually trying to connect to this plane, seems like I've connected to Mars. Okay.
I'm so.
And she says, I'm Sonya.
Yeah. That.
Okay, that must be her signature fight with Kano. So to address the fan community once more, Kano is missing that cybernetic eye plate. Maybe this is an image of Kano right here, an origin on him somewhere that will explain how he gets the eye. Maybe they're doing that. But then, I guess if they're going to do that, wouldn't they have to address some other elements of the Black Dragon and then the Red Dragon clans, which also is addressed in the mythological lore of Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance and Deception, which introduces Mavado, who is the true leader of the Black Dragon, and how he was betrayed by Kano. Just saying. So, I mean, you know, this is a trailer, so we haven't seen it all yet.
Kano.
Okay. And, of course, the fans addressed this, too, in other trailer reaction videos. And Mr. Simon himself addressed it, too, that this was done just for aesthetics. So I guess we haven't seen the eye plate yet.
I'm Liu Kang.
Nice actor for Liu Kang.
Name's
Looks
Jax.
good. Jax.
Kung Lao.
We got Kung Lao going on right there. Okay. The hat looks authentic. I just want to back up a bit here, though.
Kung.
Okay. So, there's a scene that Simon talks about addressing the clothing that doesn't make it look cheesy in real life. Now, when I see this right here, these are known as frog closures, or kuzi, or panko closures on traditional Manchurian Qing wear. This right here, as I look at it, doesn't look like the authentic frog buttons. Since he wants to talk about the authenticity of the clothing, and we're going to dissect everything in great detail, these look like the American-inspired, mass-produced version of the Chinese frog button closures, which are a quick and easy way to make Chinese buttons without doing it the traditional way. See, Chinese frog buttons that are on the clothing, on the traditional Kung Fu suit and the Mao suit, or the Qi Pao or the Chongsen, are done by hand. There are loops that are done. There's a specific craft and an art on making the frog closures to Chinese clothing. In fact, you can find that out on CCTV9, or you can actually look that up on CNN China. They have documentaries on the handcraft of traditional Qing Dynasty clothing, how it's done, and its evolution over time, and how the handwork, shogun, how that's done in a particular fashion. So when I look at this, I can tell that this is the American inspiration of Chinese frog closures. Just saying. So if we're going to talk about detail, let's get all the way into that detail. Okay, we see Raiden here. I'm going to have to pull a page out of Maximilian's book on this one. I guess because I've seen the original Mortal Kombat film so many times myself, I'm just so used to Christopher Lambert playing Raiden and the long hair, and it just fits right. And even if it wasn't Christopher Lambert, as it isn't right here, I'm used to Raiden being so much more older and so much more domineering. When he speaks with a cosmic presence. When Raiden speaks, he speaks with the 1,000 understandings of the universe, the planets, and multi-dimensional realities, that when he steps through, he brings with him a wisdom and a cosmic and intergalactic understanding that there is knowledge that you do not know outside of your own. I don't feel that presence from this Raiden, and then it's not to take away from the actor right here. I assume he's going to do an excellent job. But when he speaks, he doesn't give me the feel of cosmic antiquity. I don't get cosmic antiquity. It's like saying when we see the old Conan movies with James Earl Jones, who has that cosmic voice, that fatherly voice, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, who plays Conan. He's always been the voice of God or the voice of Mufasa in Lion King, James Earl Jones. I don't get that presence. Raiden had his own particular way of bringing that presence, but to the Mortal Kombat mythos. When he says, "I'm Raiden," okay, we know that. You don't feel cosmically sound or clairvoyant, that you belong from another realm, that you answer to the elder gods. I don't feel that. Please leave a comment on this video. What do y'all think? Tell me. I need to know, what do y'all think about this? The hat is godlike. I'm feeling that hat. I'm feeling the robes there. I understand that. But I don't get... I'm a very spiritual person, so I don't get... I don't get it. I don't get that. Help me. Help me. Moving forward.
The fate of Earth is in our hands.
Okay, Jax. This is great. Now we see the transformation of Scorpion. How he's become the Hellspawn bent on revenge. And of course Simon addresses this. The acuity of the samurai armor, of the Shiryu, of truly being a shinobi. I really don't like the word ninja, so let's kind of keep to the culture here of him being a shinobi, because that's really what that is. This was done well.
No matter how many of my people...
I get warrior feels here. There was an old show called Vanishing Sun that used to come on TV. This is like walking into the sunset. or walking into the sunrise. I'm trying to find myself. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to reach my higher plane of existence. That's perfect. Especially for Liu Kang.
Or you put in the ground.
Nice round off. That jump side kick was excellent by Kung Lao. Okay, now to address the biggest elephant in the room here. The addressing of Molina's teeth. I guess there's supposed to be some surprises on why Molina's mouth is the way that it is. And so we're speculating that this is where my mouse is right here, that there is the rest of the teeth hidden within here and within on the other side of her jaw. We don't know this yet. I guess there's some surprises that we're supposed to know about. I guess as a fan of the original mythology, Molina was hideous to begin with, and Katana is the bane of her existence. The teeth was always why she had to hide herself behind the mask, because no one would pay attention to her at all. Which, when you think about the depths of alienation, the depths of being ostracized, it's over time, from the very start, it's bound to make anybody mad. She was mad from the start because of that, and then some. Of course, we got her signature licking the side right there, which looks pretty damn cool. Okay, you know, I'm giving it a chance. I was worried. I gotta say, I was worried like other people were. I was worried. But, you know, I'm stepping back. I gotta give it a chance.
We will not fail.
Wonderful shot of Shao Kahn here. Of course, I see the signature hat, very, very similar to Mortal Kombat 11. But I also see the reference points to the original Mortal Kombat 2. Right there in the face. There are the scales in his face right there. There is the loincloth, the draperies going on there. There's his Wraith Hammer, signature to Mortal Kombat 3. Excellent. And the symbol of the one being on his hammer, for which, in the backstory of Khan, he was the advisor to the Dragon King, and he wanted to be like the Dragon King so much, not really truly understanding what the Dragon King itself was trying to be like, which was the one being. Excellent. Okay.
Kill them.
Oh, let's go back a bit. Let's get that Shang Tsung. Okay. Ooh, I missed it. Let's go back. Ooh. Okay, I gotta go back some more. There we go. There we go. There, that armor that's on Shang Tsung. Now, this is the part that gets exciting. Okay, because they did this right here. You see that frog loop right there? Now that's an authentic Chinese closure button right there. With but it's integrated. The Mandarin collar has been integrated. So I see there's no separate seam for the Mandarin collar itself. It's not separated. It's part of it. Okay, those uniforms did exist because Western tailoring doesn't come until much later. But I see it. I see it. This armor looks pretty badass for Shang Tsung. I love it. This looks good. Up, and we see Molina in the backdrop, and we see also Sub-Zero here in the backdrop. I'm a little worried about Molina being there behind Shang Tsung. She never really answered to him like that. She answered to Shao Kahn. See, I would have thought maybe Reptile would have been there, because Reptile was Shang Tsung's trump card, as Jade was Shao Kahn's trump card. Should things become awry, Reptile was the sweeper. I'm not sure if Molina's taking that role as the cavalry of some sort, but I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. Ooh. So there is some thoughts about this right here being Noob Saibot. When Bihan becomes Noob Saibot. Or perhaps this could also be Smoke. I haven't heard from anyone saying this could be Smoke right here. Because I see a lot. Smoke has dark clouds as well. This could go either way. It'd be a surprise if this is Smoke, though. But since it's very dark right here, it's easy to assume that it's Noob Saibot. Okay. But it's just a flash scene here. Liu Kang again. Oh, alright. And he's summoning the dragon fatality, or what we think will be the dragon fatality that will continually manifest itself and devour Cabal right here, who has his hook swords in hand. I guess we're holding back to block for this one. I don't think there's no blocking allowed in this. Oh, wow. He's definitely done for from this scene. And Goro just looks amazing here. Talk about a major upgrade from the 1995 movie. That is wonderful. Damn, that's great. So some people think maybe Kohan is Johnny Cage. I don't know. Simon is saying that there's going to be some surprises in the movie, so of course he didn't reveal everything. So I guess he wants... It seems like he's coaxing for negative and positive reactions at once, because once we see it, we'll get the full picture. And so I guess I'm forced to step back to see the full picture of what the machination is going on inside this director's head. You know, I'm going to address some Easter eggs in a moment, but man, just looking at Goro right here just looks amazing. The signature one ponytail on the top of his head, the loincloth. There is the symbol of the forearm race right here on his belt. If you look close enough, you can see that. There's the six-pack. This looks really good. Simon addressed in his breakdown of his trailer that this was another hard design for him to do, and it could be cheesy putting four arms on a character. Or it could be difficult to do it. I don't know about it being cheesy. There are other franchises that have done it, and have done it well on a much lower budget. Take Xena Warrior Princess. If you've watched Xena, and you know what I'm talking about, reference point, there's an entire season of her in India, and then the pivotal point of that season of her traveling to India with Gabrielle, who's the Amazon princess, and she's the warrior princess. Xena's arms get cut off by one of the Indian lords, and she prays to Krishna for help. Krishna blesses her by giving her the very essence of Kali, one of the Indian goddesses of destruction. And they did the four arms on Xena and the long hair as she plays the Indian goddess Kali. You can look at this reference. I'm going to put up, you can see the picture right here of Xena as Kali. And this is on a very low budget in the mid to late 90s in Xena, and she did fantastic. The whole four-arm, six-arm stuff, that lore, that mythology, that understanding goes deep, 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 thousands of years into Indian mythology. That's nothing new. So if Xena Warrior Princess could do that on a low budget, and that's a TV show, then I know it's not a hard feat to accomplish in today's times with the current technology. Just saying. The Ice Sword of Sub-Zero, Mortal Kombat 5, great. That was Deadly Alliance right there. There's Scorpion.
I am Sub-Zero.
I don't know if I have too many gripes with the get over here line, but I guess I feel it could have been said with more conviction. Maybe it's because it's the mask that's on Scorpion's face, but it could have been done better. They gave him the signature hood from MKX. They gave him the sword. They really gave him what a realistic shinobi would look like with integrated samurai armor. I want to make sure I say that right. Samurai armor. Okay, it looks good. I like the battle here. This is the iconic battle that every Scorpion and Sub-Zero fan has been looking for so long. It is the epitome battle, and I have to give reference to Juri Osna, actor, stuntman, performer, director, who was on the Bourne series that decided to take his budget and create the Street Fighter Assassin's Fist origin story behind Akuma, Goki, Gotetsu, Ryu, and Ken. He took his budget to finally put together that origin story. We're finally getting that origin battle, the Ken Ryu between Sub-Zero and Scorpion. We're finally getting that. Okay, now to one of the highlights that I wanted to talk about. There we go. So, of course, Mortal Kombat has always been a violent video game, but what I often don't see, and it's something that the Japanese are good at in Japanese anime and in Japanese cinema, they're really good at giving us the balance. We don't always get that balance in American cinema when it comes to female warriors. And I wanted to save this towards the end because I wanted to cater to the mass audience out there about the whole Sub-Zero Scorpion origin. We don't get the same rivalries with the women. And according to the original mythology to Mortal Kombat, the major female... what's the word I'm looking for? The major female rivalry has always been between Kitana and Molina. Now, in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which we don't want to talk about, there was that match between Sonya and Molina. And the comics and the video game and the mythology as a whole, there is no real interaction between Sonya and Molina. The interaction that Sonya has with another female is addressed in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance with Frost, when Sub-Zero decides to take Frost as a disciple, a newly disciple of the Lin Kuei, but Sonya doesn't trust her, and Frost definitely doesn't like Sonya. That's where that female rivalry comes in. But the main female rivalry has always been between Kitana and Molina, and we were supposed to get that female rival fight. I still don't understand why it has not happened to this day. We didn't get it in the Mortal Kombat original movie in '95, and we did not get it in Annihilation. And it has been one of the most talked about Femme Fatale matches that people want to see. I would have thought that Simon would have recognized this, understood this, and have brought this to screen. Now, it's too early to determine that because this is just the trailer. But to see Molina facing Sonya again, after all these years that showed that in Annihilation, the movie that we really don't want to talk about, I thought that would have been changed. This is the defining moment where Kitana sees the light of hope in Liu Kang. See, when we go back, this iconic match between Kitana and Molina sets up the stage for a lot of things happening in the backdrop of the Mortal Kombat mythology. Kitana sees hope in Liu Kang, that if he is truly the chosen one, he is going to be the one to help her overthrow Khan and release her world of Edenia from being attached to Outworld, so she can claim her rightful place not only as princess but the future queen of Edenia, and try to restore what is left of her world into some type of nobility from which she comes from. Molina, who is dispatched by Shao Kahn, who is suspecting this all along, sends her to watch over Katana, to stop her, to block her from connecting with Liu Kang. And in doing so, is given authorization to take action if necessary. And in the backdrop between Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, she takes this action, which results in her death when Katana is forced to defend herself against Molina. They fought before a legitimate match, and Molina loses. And from this loss results in her death. Her soul is sent to the Netherrealm, where she's granted amnesty by Quan Chi and forced to work for the Legend of Shadow and also for Shinnok. She's then given telepathy to be able to read Katana's thoughts during the events of Mortal Kombat 3, but must postpone. She has to postpone her revenge and tries to enact this in Mortal Kombat 4, when Tanya is then ushered as a traitor to Edenia to open up the dimensional gates as they allow Shinnok to step through to put Sindel on palace arrest. This is what sets all that up. And then on Katana's end, she is then deemed as a traitor, as a renegade, and she is to be killed on sight, possibly, and captured by her friend Jade, which now pulls Jade into the fold. And then even Reptile, as Reptile is to watch over Jade to make sure that Jade does her job, because even Khan suspects she may ally with her own best friend since childhood, which eventually happens as they team up to save Sindel from the clutches of Shao Kahn's control. That is a major setup in the backdrop of Mortal Kombat. So when we don't get that rivalry fight, that iconic female femme fatale fight between Molina and Katana, it does the women an injustice. The men get their fight with the Sub-Zero Scorpion, but when are the women going to get their iconic moment? And that is something that I wanted to address for a long, long time. It was just recently that they released the Mortal Kombat classic figure to Katana, her wearing the turtleneck, sleeveless leotard that she's known for wearing in the events of Mortal Kombat 2 when she was first introduced. They finally released that toy and called it the Mortal Kombat 11 Classic Katana, which I felt was named incorrectly because it's not classic Mortal Kombat Katana 11. It's her from Mortal Kombat 2. That's how she was introduced to the entire series. You know, I think they could have done that turtleneck, sleeveless leotard. They could have done that and made that out of a movable leather and made it realistic. I think the way they redid it in Mortal Kombat 11 is pretty cool, because the Mortal Kombat 11 image of it makes it look true to real life with that type of material. When you're a costume designer, it's up to you to really bring from comic book and video game to real life. And there's a way that you can do it if you understand material, if you understand fabric, if you understand vision and how to manifest vision from dream world to live action. There's a way to do it, to not make it look cheesy and still look realistic, and stay true to how they look from the game in real life. Okay, moving forward.
Kano wins.
So I see Kano had a fight here. He does his signature heart grab out of your chest fatality. This was confirmed by Simon as well. We still don't see the eye yet. I'm going to assume maybe this is at the beginning of the movie somewhere. But we still don't have the cyber eye. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to feel about that, but okay. Moving forward.
You fucking beauty.
And that's the whole trailer right there. Wow, that was interesting. So, some other extra stuff I wanted to address, and I'm not sure how I should do it, but I guess I'll start this way. There is a company on the East Coast. They're known as Man at Arms. It's also a show on TV, Man at Arms, and they're skilled in making weaponry from different types of metals, different types of material. They just specialize in making weapons. And there's a whole thing on making Katana's war fan, Link's sword, and video gaming weapons from famous characters in comics, in games, in anime. They make them in real life, and they make them with real metal, steel, iron, and it's called Man at Arms. So I kind of wanted to promote their work and say, take a look at that. They have a whole thing on Katana's war fans. I thought that was pretty awesome. And so I guess what I think about the trailer here, once again, we're going to have to go back and really wait until the movie comes out April. It's going to be exciting to see. I am going to be sitting in front of my big screen TV. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to step back. I want to see. I guess there's some surprises that we're not given yet. Also, and before I forget, this is very, very, very important. There have been some names that have been dropped by IMDb for the Mortal Kombat movie. And one of the names have been confirmed to play a character, Natara. Yes. So I'm actually pulling that up as we speak in real time. I want to address this. And of course, you'll see right now I'm putting up the picture so you can all see. There have been some names for the cast of characters that have been confirmed. And if this is so, if Natara is confirmed in the movie, yes, Elisa Cadwell. There we go, Elisa Cadwell. If Natara has been confirmed, then that very well may be an introduction into the vampire race, having a relationship with the reptilian race, which is introduced in Reptile and Natara's backstory. Further, in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, there is another woman named Matilda Kimber, Laura Brent, Mel, what's it, Jarnson? Jarnson, okay, Jarnson, Mel Jarnson. Okay, there are several ladies here that are confirmed, about 3 ladies here, but their roles have not been talked about except for Elisa Cadwell as Natara. I am really excited. Now, I'm really excited. If we're getting Natara, then is it easy to assume that we're going to get Ashra? Because Matilda Kimber looks a bit Asian here. I'm not sure what her background is, so no disrespect to this lady, but she looked like she'd make a wonderful Ashra. Okay, maybe possibly Jade, who knows? But there are 3 women here. Matilda Kimber, Laura Brent, Mel Johnson. These names have not been confirmed as what their roles are going to be, but we do get Elisa Cadwell confirmed as Natara. Exactly. And I'm just going to leave it right there. And thank you for watching my review, my concept on the Mortal Kombat 2021 film. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for notifications as I will continue my coverage on video gaming, character tutorials, and everything in the geek and fandom alike. I am a serious otaku, performing artist, martial artist, and video gaming historian that collects memorabilia. Thank you. Please leave a comment, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think, and trust I will respond in the most intellectual of manners.